What's up, Internet? My name is Jonesy. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we are going to be playing Surviving the Aftermath. This is a brand new game that's in alpha still from Paradox. The makers of such great titles as Crusader Kings 2, Europa Universalis, City Skylines. And this is a base building colony management type game. It's very, very similar to Banished, if anyone's played that before, with a little bit of Frostpunk kind of details thrown in. So let's jump into it. So we're gonna start a new game. I have done a one kind of little test game thing to see how that went. Just kind of get the feel of the game. I guess we'll say yes. Oh, that's a loud sound. That's a loud sound. I thought I turned that down, but apparently I didn't turn that down enough. Okay, so you can see up at the top here, there's a difficulty meter, and this changes based on the different things that you choose. This is very similar to They Are Billions, in that it because you have all these different things up here, and each one of these is going to have like 3 options that you can choose to vary up the difficulty. Since this is just kind of like a first playthrough to get the gist of the game, we're gonna go with cities are demolished, but nature prevailed. Gives us a temperate and humid climate with fertile soil, or 40% fertile soil. I'm not going to go through and read all these. It'll just take too much time. I need to put like a headphones warning up there. I know I need it. Catastrophes. In the wake of the events, resulting extreme weather conditions and other calamities became a normal part of everyday life. So there are catastrophes that happen in this game. If you watch the trailer for it, you can see some of the things that happen, like random lightning strikes or meteors that come and like blow up a building, start a fire in your colony. We're gonna go with occasional catastrophes, contamination level 20%, headphone warning. There it is. Resources, we will go with indestructible bunker collapsed, headphone warning. Survivors. Let's go with 8 adults, 4 children. Again, we're just gonna we're gonna go real easy on it in a first playthrough. There are supposedly bandits. I haven't gotten far enough in the game to experience the bandits yet, or how that mechanic works. But we are gonna go with the easy exploration. Exploration in this game is kind of how the Frostpunk works. We kind of have an overworld map view that you can send somebody out to different tiles. Each one has kind of like resources and stuff like that, but the bandits guard those. I don't know if the bandits come and actually attack your colony. I don't know about that specifically, so we'll have to find that out. Gatekeeper. The path is challenging but worth the risk. Architect, lenient and helpful. It's a tough road to walk but never unfair. Survivalist, challenging but fair. Suffering or success, chaotic, no restrictions, anything is possible. Again, we're just gonna go with architect. And you can see by choosing all the easiest options, our difficulty is still at 33%. I'm curious to see how high it goes up if you choose all the hardest settings. That'll be interesting to see. But we will go with that. And then you get to make a nice group, a flag that represents your colony. Easy choice here. Definitely going to go with blue. And then we have all these different icons down here that we can go with. I kind of like... I kind of like that one. Yeah, we're going to go with that one. Oh, and then we get to make a colony name and a colony motto. Let's see, what are some of the... New Caledonia, that's not bad. Cleowood somewhere, Valentine, Rebury, Zonvale, Egopolis, Inwell, 4 Mile. 4 Mile's not bad. Archester. And I think you can just make your own name if you want. Oh, yeah, there we go. We can make our own name. What should we call this place? Let's call it... Jonesyville. There we go. And I kind of like Survive and Thrive, actually. Where's some of the other ones? We'll just see. Rebuild and Prosper, Adapt and Overcome, Rather Death than Dishonor. That's pretty hardcore. For a Better Tomorrow, Rebuild and Prosper, for a better... Okay, so it seems like there's not a whole lot. It seems like it cycles through pretty quickly. But I'm sure as the game... Unity equals Strength's not bad. For a Better Tomorrow. What was the one that I liked originally? Divide and Conquer. That's for an aggressive playthrough. Cats Won't Go. I have not seen this one. That's our new colony motto. I have not seen that come up. We're gonna go with that. Yeah, and then okay. Difficulty 33%. We're gonna have tutorials, temperate soil, occasional catastrophes, plenty of resources and colonists. Low difficulty in the colony of Jonesyville, where cats won't go quietly into the night. Yeah, it sounded better in my head. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, the first thing I'm doing when I'm getting in this, I'm changing that sound, because apparently that's still way too loud. I didn't think it would be. It's still way too loud. And it's still way too loud. Trappers and Fisher provide a slow but stable source of food. Yeah, so this game, from my understanding, was just announced at, was it ParadoxCon? Or, I think. Yeah, just announced. And... Okay, first thing, audio. We're gonna turn that down. Turn that down. Okay. See, it makes the clicks so. I feel like, yeah, it definitely needs some audio work. Okay, so this, if you, like I said, if any of you have ever played Banished before, which is probably a game that I'll do on this channel as well in the future, this is almost identical to the beginning of Banished. I'm trying to think now. Is Banished a Paradox title? No, I don't think it is. But this is very, very similar. So you can see here we have our colonist. We have a stockpile that's got some of our starting resources, which you can see up at the top here. These are all the different things that we have to manage. There's happiness, our colonists, the food that we have, water, energy, planks, concrete, plastic, metal, fiber, parts, components, electronics, fun box. I've never seen a fun box before. Okay. Tools, clothes, medicine, and science points. And then up here we have those tutorials. Basic controls. So apparently this game's also being designed to be able to be played with a controller. So that's interesting to see how that comes about, what they're going to do with that. And you see we have alerts over here. 12 colonists are homeless. There's that goose again. So coming down here to the build menu, we can see we have different things that we can build. Roads, different shelters. I realize now that my camera was over top of some of what I was talking about there. There we go. Yeah, so we have happiness, colonists, food, water, and then the alerts that I was talking about. That should be a little bit better. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, going back to the build menu, we have roads, different shelters, storage options, food options. There's the Trapper and Fisher's hut that they talked about. Water, resources, different buildings for those. Products to make tools and clothing. medicine, the gate, and then just default decoration. So let's start out by building some shelters. So in that this is like Banished a lot, if you a lot of people are tempted to build up this emergency shelter first because it houses 6 people. It doesn't cost a lot of resources, but if you read, it says it doesn't give protection against radiation, which is a thing that you have to manage. Colonists are less likely to reproduce in cramped up shelters like this. So you won't be able to grow your colony using the emergency shelters. You actually have to build tents for them. But I think we will go and build one emergency shelter, and you can rotate these around using R. The arrows that you see on this building on its left-hand side indicate where it joins up to a road. So where those kind of darker green with the light arrows in, that's an indicator that a roadway can be built over top of that, and that is what you consider the front of the building. So we're gonna plop this down. I guess now we're gonna do it over here. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right there, and then moving around with WASD, you can see the different resources around the map here. We're kind of far away from water. That's it's okay. It looks like we got a pretty good pile of starting resources over here. Berry bushes for food, concrete, planks, stuff like that. Now, the way that you're going to go about collecting these things is kind of an interesting concept. Here is the bunker that caved in that we chose as our starting. I forget which category it was when we started, but one of the options was the old reliable bunker caved in on itself, and you can see, if you zoom in on it, you can actually see that it's smoking and caved in, but still does house resources. But then we have a food storage. This only stores food, and you can see here how you gather food into the food storage area is actually by clicking on this to move the work area, and you'll see that it on the map it highlights the harvestable food sources that are on the map. So let's collect up over here for food first, and then we have the stockpile, which has all of our basic materials: wood, concrete, metal, plastic, and that has the same exact type of mechanic. So let's see, I'm trying to see what can we get the most. I think I can, I had all of them there for a second, right there, and that will get the 3 planks along with that bit of concrete there. These metal heaps here have to be harvested using a scrapper, and someone will work the scrapper building, turning the scrap that they pick up from this. It has 90 scrap in it, and they will turn it into metal and something else. What is that? I don't know. It gives you 3 metal and 3 of something else. I'm not sure what the something else is yet, so we'll have to find that out. But if we unpause this using spacebar, you can see that there are, down on the bottom here, your controls of how fast you want the game to go. You can see the current day and the progress of the day down here. So they're gonna go ahead and start building this up. We are gonna need more houses, but I'm actually gonna build actual houses for them. The actual houses do cost a little bit more, but like I said, you will get the ability for more colonists to be born, presumably, if you give them extra space to have children, and then when the children grow up, they can move into the houses, find mates of their own. I don't like using that word, but it's the only thing that came to mind. And then have children of their own, and thus the colony prospers. So we're going to throw down a couple houses here. I don't like that you have to keep going back to the menu to select. I wish you could just select, like, I want to build houses and then click like 5 different houses, but you don't really get that option. Roads don't cost anything to make, which is pretty nice. I think you have to click and hold to get that to plop down. So we're just going to lay out some roads here real quick. Roads allow your people to travel much faster. So it is a good idea to build roads around everything. And we're just going to watch them go to work there. Excuse me while I take a sip of water. All right, and you can see them start going to work. I think that is colonists. Okay, yeah, it shows you occupants. Yeah, so because we built up 4 houses, that's 8 people. There's only 4 people living in the emergency shelter. So we will eventually need to build up more houses to get everybody out of there. The emergency shelter is good to have for when you get, I forget what they're called in this game, but like migrants that come through and want to join your colony. That way you have a place to put them immediately. So the game wants us to build. So I don't know if this is, I ran into this in my first playthrough too. The next thing it tells you up here is build a water source. We start the game with a water well, but still wants you to build another one. And I don't know if this is different or if it's just saying, oh, you know what I think it is because this provides 12 water and we have 12 people. So we're using all of our water. We have no surplus. So it wants us to build another water so that way we have a surplus. And we can start storing it in a water tower, which is a good thing to have. So colonies need water to survive. Open the build menu. Then from the water category, choose the water well. Note that wells cannot be built on barren soil. It's critical to have enough water for all colonists at all times, or they will get dehydrated and die. So we will confirm that. And again, going back to Banished, and I'm sure this is probably prevalent in other colony building games as well. It's just I have the most experience with Banished. You can see production buildings like the water well, and I presume things like bring it up, like the trapper. Yeah, they have these circles around them that show their area of production, and you don't want to overlap those areas. So since we have a water well here, we don't want to build another one. Or we will get reduced production from both the wells. It won't be as efficient. So I'm going to say that we're probably going to expand our which way we're going to expand out to. Honestly, the best options are out this way because we have all this nuclear waste here that is kind of blocking out this way. You don't want to build too close to nuclear waste. Honestly, this might be a little too close. I'm not sure. Because if your people have to path through it, I think it's pathing through it. If your people path through it, they will get sick and have to be treated, and possibly they could die. And that's not great. So let's build a new well. It ends at that tree. So if we go in a line to there would be our next well. And we will take our road system and build it up to there. And we will build a water tower as well so we can start harvesting, or we can start storing some of that water. Yeah. So it looks like we've survived our first night and people are sleeping peacefully, and we got one guy working. It looks like we got somebody working through the night to try and get that new well up and running. But I think that I'm going to leave it here for this first episode. So thank you for joining me, everybody. I hope that you come back and see in the next episode how our colony fares. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.